This is how Steve Jobs makes amazing products following this 10-80-10 rule.
Jobs had a way he saw technology and art. So when I think of the 10-80-10 principle, the 10% up front is the ideation. That's the 10% of the time he spent in the design lab with Johnny Ive talking about the material science and the interaction design and how it would work. But as soon as they ideated on the direction, the iPhone, the iMacs, etc., then Johnny would sit down with his team and they would do the rest of the 80%, the execution side. The last 10% is where you get to put your fingerprint on it. And for Steve, that was at the events, when he would introduce it to the world and how he would position it and the visuals he would use and the metaphors and the whole demos. Like, that was his gift. He didn't want to be sitting there in front of a CNC router or some 3D printer trying to prototype stuff.
So yeah, so some people will say, oh, hey, what did Steve Jobs do? You know, everybody else kind of like built the phone and like, or built this stuff and did all the hard work. Like, what did he do? This actually kind of like it really does emphasize on that point that he probably really didn't do much on one side, because he only just put in what 20% of the work, and the 80% of the work is like done by somebody else. But the one thing that I would say is that he's very good at making the connection between what technology is and how do you use it in terms of the customer experience. Because every technologist always takes the features and what the product is and then just tries to sell it as is. But Steve Jobs' superpower is connecting that product into our lives and humanizing the product so it fits our lives, right? Like the iPhone just isn't a phone. It's a place where you can keep your photos. It's a photo library. It's about, it's more than just a phone. It's not just a phone. It's a status symbol. It's like all these different things. And that is what makes the difference between a product, a commoditized product, and it's something that is really, truly special. And so I have to say that it is his superpower's gift. And like a lot of people think, oh, you're just creating the specs of a product. Well, not really, because there's a lot of work that needs to be done to understand the user interface and the user experience of a product and how that meshes with someone's humanistic lifestyle. And many people during that time, and even Android, didn't really focus on that. Now, nowadays, people do. People are allowed creating really good UI, really good UX experiences. They're really thinking about the human side of it. But back in the day, Steve Jobs was probably one of the first people to really do that, to not look at it as a technology, but look at it as something that's trying to solve a core problem and trying to humanize that as much as possible. Like, how do you make the phone look like a ergonomic chair or an ergonomic mouse that fits the contour of your hand and fits the contour of your back? Like, he was really trying to make that change.